So welcome to the video lectures on course Radiation and Microwave Techniques. We are going through unit number 1, that is Fundamental Theory of Radiation and Radiating Element. This is the lecture 5 of unit number 1, which is now based on the last few parameters of antenna, and this is the part 4 of antenna parameters. So let's see what are the contents that will be completed in this lecture. Learning outcome and the two parameters of antenna, that is antenna effective length and the antenna aperture area. So let's start. So after completion of this lecture, students will be able to understand what is the antenna's effective length or the antenna's height, and the second parameter, that is the antenna aperture areas and the different areas associated with the antenna. So let's start with this parameters of antenna. So an antenna in the receiving mode, whether it might be a wire antenna or it can be a horn antenna, aperture antenna or array antenna, they are basically used for collecting all the electromagnetic waves and to extract the power from them, right? So for each antenna, an equivalent length and the number of equivalent areas they can be defined. So in this lecture we will focus on the antenna effective length and the different areas that are associated with the antenna and the relation between the antenna effective length and the antenna's effective aperture. This equivalent quantities, they are used to describe the receiving characteristics of an antenna, whether it might be a linear antenna or aperture type of antenna. So starting with the vector effective length, or it is also called as antenna's effective height sometimes. The vector effective length can be defined as the quantity that is used to determine the voltage induced on the open circuit terminals of the antenna whenever the waves they are incident on the antenna. So the vector effective length denoted with LE for an antenna, it is usually a complex vector quantity represented as LE of theta phi equal to the length in a theta direction plus length in a phi direction. So now let's consider there is a wire antenna on which this is the electric field that is incident, and this antenna is of length LC. The effective length of this wire is given by LE. So whenever this electric field it is incident on the antenna, the voltage get induced in the wire, right? So this induced voltage at the open circuit terminals of antenna is given by multiplying the effective length of antenna with the electric field. So it is given as VOC equal to E into the effective vector effective length of antenna. So from here the effective length of antenna can be calculated as the open circuit voltage at antenna terminals divided by the incident electric field. Now we will move to the next topic, that is the antenna equivalent areas. So with antenna there are a number of equivalent areas that are associated. We will go through them one by one. This antenna equivalent area, they are used to describe the power capturing characteristics of the antenna wherever an EM wave is incident on it. So we know whenever the electromagnetic wave is incident on the receiving antenna, it produces voltage, or the voltage is induced in the antenna, and that it depends on the characteristics of the antenna. If there are different receiving antennas, they will possess different characteristics. So the voltage that is induced in the antenna, it depends on the characteristics of that antenna. So this antenna aperture or the antenna area is used to describe the induced voltage in the antenna. So the first equivalent area associated with the antenna is the physical aperture area of antenna. So consider this is the horn antenna. We will see what is the physical aperture in the case of this horn antenna. This is the pyramidal horn antenna with this rectangular shape with length and breadth associated with it as A and B. So the area of this opening will be A into B, the length into breadth. So the physical aperture of antenna is the actual area of opening of antenna. So this opening of antenna, the area of this opening of antenna is called as the physical aperture. Now we will see what is effective aperture. So in the physical aperture, we assume that the area of the opening it will provide us the induced voltage at the receiver. But this doesn't happen practically. There might be some inequalities in the this borders of receiving antenna, or some other parameters may affect this. So there must be a zero EMF induced on the walls of antenna. So we because of this there are some losses are happening. So if we consider P as the incident power, ideally what will be the power? It will be equal to the incident power density into the physical aperture. AP denotes the physical aperture. This is the ideal case, but practically this will be denoted as PA equal to the incident power density into the effective aperture, considering the losses that are taking place because of the structure of antenna. So basically the effective area is the ratio of power available at the input terminal of the antenna to the incident power density, which is AE, denoted with AE equal to the power that is available at the terminal of antenna divided by the incident power density, PT upon Wi. One more thing, the aperture efficiency is given as the aperture area, as a ratio of aperture area to the physical aperture area. Effective aperture area, it is always less than that of the physical aperture. Okay, remember this. So in fact, under the conjugate matching, only half of the captured power is delivered to the load. The other half is sometimes scattered, or it is dissipated in the form of heat. Therefore, to account for the scattered and the dissipated power, we need to define, in addition to the effective area, the scattering, the loss and the capture equivalent areas too. So we will see what the scattering area is, loss area is, and the capture area is. So before going to the scattering aperture, we will see what is the scattering. So scattering is the phenomenon happening at the corners and the bendings of antenna. Whenever the electromagnetic wave is incident on such corners or the bendings of the antenna, these waves, they also start bending, and because of this the scattering of signal occurs, and which in turn results into the loss of signal. So the ratio of power scattered by the receiving antenna to the incident power density is called as the scattering aperture. You can see the scattering aperture is denoted with AS is equal to the power scattered divided by the total incident power density. Similarly, you know, due to the loss resistance, that is the dielectric losses and the conduction losses, they appear because of the heat in the antenna. So they results in the loss aperture. So Loss aperture is the ratio of power loss due to the hit in the antenna to the incident power density, and it is denoted as AL equal to power lost divided by the incident power density, PL upon WI. Now this capture aperture or the capture area, it gives us the actual power that is captured by the antenna. So it is the ratio of the captured power by the antenna to the incident power density, denoted with AC equal to PC divided by WI. This capture area is basically the addition of effective area, the scattering area, and the loss area. So the capture area AC is equal to AE into AL plus AS. The scattering area is given as AS equal to mod of VT square divided by 8 into WI multiplied with RR, that is the radiation resistance, divided by loss resistance plus radiation resistance square. Loss area is given as AL equal to mod of VT square divided by 8 into WI into the loss resistance divided by loss resistance plus radiation resistance whole bracket square. This capture area is equal to, it is the addition of effective area, the scattering area, and the loss area. So it is equal to mod of VT square divided by 8 into WI multiplied with RT plus RR plus RL divided by RL plus RR whole bracket square. One thing to remember is the maximum effective length and the maximum directivity, they both are related with each other, and they are related as maximum effective length AEM equal to lambda square by 4 pi into the maximum directivity. Hope you understood these two parameters, that is the antenna aperture and the antenna's effective length or antenna effective height in this lecture. Thank you.